Sitting here with Shalini Basu. She is a licensed master of social work.
Yes.
Okay, and I will be asking her a few questions for my presentation today. So I guess I'll just jump right into it.
Okay.
All right. Also, she works with hospice. She works at Holy Redeemer.
Yes.
Holy Redeemer in the Cape May.
Yes, we have various offices in different counties, and I work for the Cape May County office out in Cape May Courthouse.
Okay. Now, working with hospice, how do you leave work at home, or do you?
Um, it's hard to do, because the days run, they tend to run unpredictably. If a family needs more support than you planned, then within like an hour visit, obviously you're not going to get up and run out the house.
Yeah.
If their loved one is, actively dying, and the family needs, your support to kind of keep it together or make phone calls to funeral homes, whatever, you're kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
And you don't want to leave them at their hour of need. So any visit can run any time. If emergencies happen, life happens. All of our documentation at this point is done on these devices. So we have these devices on us at all times. Now, our documentation, everybody's documentation, the nurses, ours, chaplain, everybody on our team, has to be uploaded into the system by midnight of the day that the visit occurred. So we have until midnight to do it. And unfortunately, if you're working a 9 to 5 schedule and all you're doing is seeing people during the course of that day, you still need to document. So oftentimes does happen. I will be at home after I put my kid to bed at 10 o'clock at night. I'll be documenting on my own time. So it is hard sometimes not to be able to take work home, but it does happen. But that's okay. On the flip side of that it is very convenient to have the devices, so that if our families do need an extra bit of time, that we're not rushing back to the office at the end of the day just so we have to document.
Yeah. Okay. Do you find yourself getting emotionally involved with the clients?
Absolutely. It's hard not to, because we go into their lives at such a crucial point that it's hard not to get emotionally involved. You should be emotionally involved, I think, in hospice.
Okay. What would you say is your biggest accomplishment as a social worker?
I think in remaining empathetic. A lot of times in this field, with any of us, we're all human beings at the end of the day. So it is so important for us to be able to practice things like self-care. So I think that for me, personally, my accomplishment as a social worker is to be able to find that balance. That, at the end of a rough day at work where I'm emotionally drained, I still can go home and I need to unwind and unplug and be able to relax and get myself together. That the next day when I go back to work, that I can give 110% of myself to the families. I think, and that comes with time, folks. It absolutely does come with time, and everybody's ways to cope, everybody is different. So that'll be your own path that you'll figure out what's going to work for you. But it's so important to do that, and I pride myself that over the years I have been able to do that.
Speaking of which, how long have you been doing this? When did you graduate?
I graduated in 2005 with my bachelor's, and then life happened, kids happened, and I went back to school to get my master's, and I finished my master's in 2013 at Rutgers, and I've been in the social work field though since 2005.
Okay. How would you go about locating resources for clients in a community in which you were new and had no previous relationships?
And that's actually a really good question, because I'm from Atlantic County. So when I took this job in Cape May County, it was totally uncharted, territory. I really didn't know how the resources were set up. Believe it or not, a lot of times your best resources are the clients themselves. They will tell you what they have been able to utilize for their families. They will tell you what worked for them and what didn't, and down to who is the person at the social services office that you should talk to who's going to get stuff done.
Mhm.
They're